people who have been part of this congregation down through the years. And today our guest speaker is truly coming back home. Reverend Alan Mosely was a member here years ago in the late 80s, and life had taken him on a wonderful journey to many different locations. And currently he is now the pastor of a more spiritual living center in Seattle, Washington. He is an author and has published numerous books that invite us on an empowering spiritual journey. He's a workshop presenter, and today we'll be presenting a dynamic workshop entitled Seasons of Change. You've been hearing a lot about it in our bulletins and announcements and on Facebook. So today we're excited to welcome him. That workshop will take place at 1 o'clock in our Children's Center. And if you want to just grab a quick bite to eat at Piccadilly or McDonald's and then come out and join us, we welcome everyone, because we know that this afternoon is going to be a rewarding experience. But let us begin today, in this moment, to open our hearts and our lives for what he has to share as he comes to speak from his heart on the subject, I Change. Would you welcome Reverend Mosely?
Good morning. We're going to try that again, because that's what I do every Sunday at the community in which I speak. And I invite everyone to just open up your hearts. Let's all open up our hearts, because in order for us to be filled, we have to what? Be open. So let's be open this morning. So I'll ask you all to extend your arms as far as you can. Because when we do that, guess what happens? Our heart's open. If you have to go behind somebody, go behind somebody, or just have fun with it. It's all great. And I'll ask you to repeat after me. I am willing to be an open vessel filled with love and light, and I will transform my life with everything that I do. And so it is. Peace be with you. So again, I'll say, good morning, City of Light. That is so much better. Thank you so much. I will start this morning, as I often do when I travel. I will tell you a little bit. Before I travel, I always spend a few moments speaking and in meditation, not a few moments, a lot of moments actually. And I ask Spirit, who can I be? That the individuals that see me today, that hear me today, that they will hear you. Not me, but they will hear you. Because that's what it's all about, right? And so there were several things that come to me, but I will start with this. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry wash away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose my way and it seems I can't go on, then I close my eyes, I go inside, and their Spirit gently says, there is only love, there is only love, love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. This morning I want to talk to you about the word I change. It is a phrase in which we embrace very much at the More Spiritual Center in Seattle, Washington, and it is a message that Spirit gave to me many months ago for our community, and I wanted to share it with you because Spirit said to me, I said, what is it that the city of light, what is it that I may say to the city of light that may inspire them to be the beacon of light that they are on the hill? Do we understand that? And so Spirit said to me, I need you to talk to them about I change. And I want you to understand that word and what it means, I change. So think with me for a moment about all the letters in the word change, and I'm going to say something to you, and then I'm going to ask you to repeat it after me, because I believe that this is a group participation sport. You understand? Because I have to often remind myself that I remember things, and it takes me 3 times to get them into my adult consciousness. And so I change stands for this. I can handle a new growth experience. I can handle a new growth experience. I can handle a new growth experience. Now, I want you to raise your hand as high as you can. Who all is willing in this now moment to have a new growth experience? I would like for the pastor to look around because that's pretty well everybody in the building. So that means that everybody is welcome and ready for a new growth experience. Don't put your hands down yet. Because what I want you to ask is, I want you to ask that you're all in. So what I want to do is you reach as high as you can, right? Now what I'm going to ask you to do is reach a little higher. How many of us could reach higher? Because there's a problem, there's something that we do every day. We often hold a bit of reserve back. And that reserve that we hold back is the thing that absolutely separates us oftentimes between being who we are and being magnificent. And if we're going to be a beacon of light in the world, we need to be what? Magnificent. And so you may place your hands down. Thank you very much for participating in fullness. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. But Spirit was telling me, and as I visited with Pastor Paul and Robert and just had a wonderful fellowship, I can't tell you what a blessing it has been. I want to say thank you very much. Thank you. As I've walked around your facility, because when I remember this building, it was not this building. Do you understand that? It didn't look like this building. It didn't smell like this building. And it certainly didn't look like all of you. So what I want to say is I've already witnessed a transformation in your process, in your growth, and in your possibility. And what I know that you have done here, you will go on to do great things. But what Spirit wanted to say to me is that with growth, with expansion comes what? Change. And what are we all afraid of as human beings? Change. Oh, I'm willing for everybody else to do it, but I'm going to stay right where I am. Because that makes life a lot easier. If you do all the work, I'm going to be fine. I'll come along whenever you got it all set up. I'll just come along and do that. But what happens when we say that we are willing for a new growth experience, that means that I get to participate in a new growth experience. It means that I get to be my authentic self. It means that I get to be the God that I am. I get to be who I am supposed to be in the world, who I said I would be in the world, and who I come here to be in the world. It means that I can no longer live the limited version of myself. It means that I can no longer act like I'm a second-class citizen, or that I am a knockoff, or that I am not the best of the best. Because as Miriam Williamson so beautifully and brilliantly puts, who am I not to be? Do you understand that? Who are you not to be the beacon of light on the hill? That every other community in the city of Atlanta would recognize, Seattle too, come on. In the city of Atlanta that would recognize, who are these people? And what do they have? And how can we be a part of that? Because I can tell you that everyone that has greeted me today has greeted me with love, has greeted me with respect, and has greeted me as a child of the divine. But guess what? Guess who had to know that first? Me. I had to know that first. So the biggest change that had to happen in my life, the biggest growth opportunity that happened in my life, and I will say will probably be in your life as well, is the inward growth that happens in the recognition that I am the love of God. I am the only love of God some people will see today. I am the light. I am a part of the city of light, but I am the light. I embody that now. I want us to understand something, that we are responsible. We're responsible, first of all, for what we take in, and secondly, what we give out. I want us to understand that I cannot allow anything into my life that I do not believe, first, that I am worth, second, that I embody, and third, that I ought to have. There's a lot of things in this world that we often say, gosh, I wish we could have this, or I wish we could do that, or I wish. We have a saying at a more spiritual center, I claim and affirm. I claim and affirm that is my truth. Because the moment I do that, I begin to recognize that is mine. And when I recognize that is mine, there is nothing, or as I like to say, no thing that can take that from me. Isn't that brilliant? It's just brilliant. I love it. And so what I want us to understand is, as you all embrace this new growth opportunity and this new growth experience, what I want you to understand is it's not going to look like anything you've expected it to look like. And that's the joy about growth, right? Now, when we change things and we do things, there's going to be sometimes we're going to do the things, we're going to try something we tried a long time ago that didn't work. Trust me, I know this, because we do this all the time at our community. I have people come to me all the time, Reverend Allen, we've done this before. And I say to them, well, I believe that we have a slogan here at the More Spiritual Center that says, I can change. Do you remember that slogan? That slogan goes, I can handle a new growth experience. And so this may not look like a new growth experience to you. I can assure how we're going to do it is going to be a new growth experience. So let's pull on our big boy pants and our big girl pants, and let's act like we know who we are, and let's get on with this thing. Because a lot of times what people need to be reminded of is this. I signed up for this growth opportunity. And I want to remind you and invite you all to this understanding that I invited you to this new growth opportunity this morning when I asked you to raise your hands and sign in. And I did that for myself. Because what I know to be true is when I say I am open and I am receptive, watch out. The world is going to start serving up some brilliant stuff, and I get to move around and shake around, and I get to be something that I've never been before, and I get to look like something I've never looked like before, and I get to love like I've never loved before, and I get to express the love of the divine in me to the best of my ability. And today I'll have to say that's pretty amazing. I used to tell people all the time that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't smart enough, and I wasn't all these things because I believed that about myself. And so it was impossible for me to have the experiences that I wanted to have in the world because I was so busy limiting the unlimited. How many of you know that this divine creation that we call God is what? Unlimited. How many of us know that? There's no end to it. There's no way it can ever run out of juice. It can never run out of anything because it is all-inclusive. It is omnipresent, which means it's here before I get here. It's waiting on me to show up everywhere I go. So this entity that is absolutely omnipresent, that is always available, ever ready, without end, is here for each of us. And as it is here for each of us, it means that we have that surplus running in, through, and as our lives. So as we go forward from whatever you have, whenever you move from this building, wherever you go to the next space, whatever you do, I want you to recognize that you're ready for a new growth experience, because that's what Spirit told me, that you are ready. You are ready to embrace this. You are ready for the next growth spurt. You are ready to embrace and embody who you are. You are ready to be the beacon of light that you should be and you set up to be and that you have claimed you are and that you will be. And that you deserve that. That you are no longer all those things you've held about yourself. You are now the community of love and light, and it is time for you to make a difference in this community and in the world. This is what I want you to understand today. I want you to understand that so many times it is not the world that limits us, it is. I stand up in the mirror, I say the things to myself all the time that I know is not in my highest and best good, and then I want to be mad at you because you said that I look fat in this outfit. But what I know to be true is I've said that to myself so many times before you said it to me, that that's what I heard, and that's what I'm mad at, that I don't have the courage to grow. What do we need to grow, folks? What do we need to grow? I'm a participatory guy, so I'm going to ask you questions, so get ready. Thank you in the back. I love you. I love you. I love you. We have to be open. Because in order for us to grow, we have to be able to empty out what has been in there. Do you understand that? And what I want us to understand is this is something I tell all the communities that I work with, and that is this. We're often very willing to let go of the negative and the bad and the things that no longer serve us, but we want to hold on to what? The good. And this is what I want you to understand. If we hold on to anything, we cannot be filled up. We have to let go of the good and the bad because we have to expect something better. Because so many times in my life, I will hold on to the good like it is the last best pair of shoes I have in my closet because I don't want to let go of those bad boys, and I have missed out on the miracle of a new pair of shoes that is perfect. I like to bring it down, into me. My community knows that I have a love for shoes, bless my heart, and that my beloved has allowed me to create a closet that will house my shoes. There are many, and I know them all intimately, and I love them all very dearly. But what I want you to understand is, today I understand that sometimes I have to let go of some of the ones that are no longer working so I can have a new experience. But what that reminds me on a spiritual level is this, that what is true in my shoe closet has to also be true in my spiritual life. That some of the things that I was taught as a child and some of the things I believed as a child are no longer serving me as an adult. And that when I can let go of those old behaviors and I can replace them with new behaviors, with, shall we say, new thought, when I can transform my mind and renew my mind by renewing my thought, by renewing what I say to myself, renewing what I believe about myself, renewing what I think about who I am and what I am and who I am in the world. At that moment, I transform that which was my life into a new life. And I then can handle that new growth experience. And I can no longer live in that what? Old paradigm. I can't live over here in the old Alan. I've got to be bold and daring, and I've got to dress and look and be, because Spirit loves it when I show up as me. Not the diminished version of me. Because the diminished version of me would simply want someone to step up and say, who are you? But when I show up as my authentic self, I set a standard. Nobody can come in under that standard, I want you to understand, because I've set the standard. Because I won't hear any of this. This is all noise down here. I don't hear it. I don't listen to it. I don't abide by it. I don't do anything with it. But all I hear is what comes in up here, which is, you are the face of love. You are the heart of love. You are a gift. You are magnificent. You are brilliant. You are beautiful. And I love you. City of Light, I want to invite you into your growth opportunity. I want you to let go of your limited version of who you have been. I want you to remember and know this long after I've gone, that you are an amazing light, and I am honored to stand in your brilliance. I have watched you. I have listened to you. I have experienced you on Facebook, and I must say I am in awe of all you have created and all you have done. And I cannot wait to see what Spirit has for you. But as you go and as you move around, I want you to be able to say to each other, often, it's not about the other person changing. It's never about the other person changing. It's always about me changing. So every time you get in that little place, that place that starts doing this, and it gets a little warm when we start having these things called friction. It's caused when we push against something. At that moment, we just need to raise our hands, throw our hearts open, and say, I can handle a new growth opportunity. I can handle a new growth experience. I can handle a new growth experience. I'm going to embrace this person and love them for all they are because I can handle a new growth experience. I am so proud of you. I love you. I love what you have done, and I love who you are. And I cannot wait to see all that you do because this is just the beginning. What Spirit has for you, this doesn't even touch it. And so I want you to embody that. I want you to go out boldly, and I want you to be the change you wish to see in the world. I bless you all.